Hey everyone, finish watching the next Masked Rider, the next couple of Masked Rider episodes. I'm gonna just burn through a couple of them at once because there's not a whole lot to say about these. So first up, Race Against Time. Albie is taking part in an RC car race. Dragon's minions are spying, and they're just as petty as ever. They want to ruin Albie's chances for winning and also steal Dex's powers. This episode is so boring I stopped paying attention. The plot had something to do with Dragon sending down an RC car for Albie to find, and it follows Dex to Magno and Combat Chopper's cave. Nefaria goes down and threatens to shoot them with a thingy. She stands around yakking for too long, Dex comes in, takes the thingy from her, she leaves, and the RC car turns into a new monster. Meanwhile, Furbus drives a go-kart around. Barbara and Hale try to catch him because there needed to be something else to fill out time in the episode. Cyclopter and Doubleface actually come down to help the monster, but Dex powers up to Super Blue and defeats it. Cyclopter and Doubleface leave because they suck. Dex catches Furbus, but a crowd is gathered around. Hal uses the RC car controller to pretend that Furbus is a robot. Albie goes to the next RC car race, and we don't see if he wins or loses, because all that really matters is that he tried his best. What a lame episode. Maybe I'd be more enthusiastic if this were a really early on episode, but coming this late, no, nothing happens. Dex worries about Dragon, now knowing the location of Magno and Combat Chopper's cave, and Hal offers to help, but we're not going to see any of that, because that may have been a better story, and we can't have that. Doesn't Dragon already know where the cave is anyway? The villains are dumb, the monster accomplishes nothing, and Furbus's plot is just nonsense that comes out of nowhere. I think the crew had really given up at this point. Not much to talk about. The plot's thin, the effects don't stand out. This one's a good contender for one of the worst. So, moving on to the next episode, Catatomic. Molly wants to try out for the cheerleading team. The bad guys, meanwhile, have a plan to use a special transforming device to create a new monster, because they have a shortage of monsters, suddenly, I guess. I don't know. At the Stewart house, Barbara shows Molly some cheerleading moves, and Furbus thinks it looks fun and joins in. Enjoy this, because it's one of the only good parts of the episode. Herbie tries out to be the school mascot, and Dragon thinks he'd be a good candidate to be transformed into a monster. At least that was what I figured at first, but no, the maggots drag Herbie away and steal the mascot costume, then use the transformation device on the mascot costume without Herbie in it. Dex sees the maggots and suspects something might be up. He finds Herbie, and he tells Dex his costume was stolen. Dex sees the mascot suit and lures it away from the school. Suddenly, the suit fully becomes a monster. Dex defeats it and takes the suit back to Herbie. Or at least, I thought that was what he was doing, but instead he just kind of holds on to it and leaves Herbie in his underwear in the bushes for the rest of the episode. Okay. Molly tries out for cheerleading and impresses the crowd. The cheerleading captain doesn't like Molly, but the rest of the team choose Molly over her. This episode is just blah. The transforming device is a pretty pointless addition. They've never needed a reason to call a non-insect monster an insectivore before. I don't know why they're bothering now. Herbie not being in the suit when it gets turned into the monster makes the stakes incredibly low. I don't know why Herbie couldn't have been turned into the monster. It's not like there's something else going on he's busy with. This is another pretty boring episode with a whole bunch of nothing going on. Nothing clever, nothing interesting, nothing even remarkably bad. Just a standard as standard gets episode that I'm sure entertained kids back in the 90s. Just nothing to this one. Next episode, Indigestion. Barbara oversleeps, so Dex uses super speed to complete her morning chores. Dragon gets the idea to contaminate Dex's food and make him sick. Maggots sneak into his lunch and plant something in his lunch bag. At lunch, Dex falls unconscious. He's taken home and put to bed. Dragon fires a beam at Dex to brainwash him in his dreams. Old clips of battles play and the horrible truth is revealed. This is a clip show, kind of. At the very least, the clips are all brief. The Stewarts ask Furbus if he knows how to contact King Lexion. The family form a circle and summon King Lexion. He channels the power of Edenoi to Dex, healing him. Dex wakes up, but he's exhausted. He detects a new monster from Dragon. He has no choice but to face it. Dex defeats the monster, but Dragon sends down another one, this time with a group of reinforcements. Combat Chopper comes to help. With his help, Dex manages to defeat them as well. At home later, Dex makes the family an Edenoi-style meal, and they love it. This episode is the definition of meh. Everything makes sense, even the clip show part is handled okay. I like seeing King Lexian, though him immediately knowing how to cure Dex feels overly convenient. There's some goofy stuff with Herbie, Principal Chalmers, and the maggots at the school, but it doesn't really set up anything or go anywhere. Moving on. Dex at Bat. I was not looking forward to this one based on the title, Dex at Bat. Obviously, this one is going to be about Dex joining a baseball team, and there's going to be some baseball hijinks, right? Actually, there's not a single reference to sports at all. The bat in the title refers to a literal bat. Albie brings home a friend's pet he's taking care of, a bat. Meanwhile, a monster breaks into a warehouse storing a dangerous type of gold. Explodium. Explodium. Yes, really, the monster uses a banana shaped into a key to open locks. Okay. His plan is to plant the gold in the center of town to force Dex to surrender his powers. Because the gold can explode, if you didn't catch that from the name Explodium. Albie tells Dex about the bat. Dex can understand the bat, and he says the bat says it wants to be freed. On the news, Dex sees a report about the stolen gold, and they mention the banana key. Dex recognizes the type of banana as the food the bat eats. He does some detective work and tracks down the one who bought the bananas. They live in a house rumored to be haunted. He finds piles and piles of bananas. He meets a strange guy and assumes he must be working for Dragon. It turns out he's right. The man transforms into a monster, then turns into green mist and floats away. Alright. At home, Furbus releases the bat when trying to talk to it. The stewards scramble to try and catch it. It slips out the window, and Dragon turns the bat into a monster, because why not? Dex and Albie find the bat. Dex transforms and Ryder kicks it, turning it back to normal. Dex then goes to deal with the other monster. He defeats it and returns home. Albie tells everyone he told his friend his bat wouldn't be happy in a cage, so they released it. This episode's another pretty bland one, boosted extremely slightly by the banana gags and just general weirdness that I kinda wish this episode went more all in on. The Explodium is a pretty stupid name for the gold. They could have just as easily swapped out the gold for a bomb. The pet moral is questionable. Just because an animal wants to be released, it doesn't mean it's the best choice for them. And one of the weird things with this bat is they say it's from Borneo. Why is a bat from Borneo in the US as a child's pet anyway? Bats aren't rare. Who would take the trouble to import one and then give it to a kid? At least the episode wasn't about baseball. So that's it for these couple of episodes. On our way to the end, so that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.
Hey kids, are you looking for something more exciting to do than sitting around the house watching TV?
No way, Bond's Masked Rider is up next.
Don't cry, we'll be right back.